there anything I should know about these teams or anything like that? Alright. By the way, are you going to be a color or play-by-play?
Minions have spawned.
Okay. Is this being recorded anywhere, or what?
Yes, it's being recorded.
Alright, right now. Alright, so what time are you at?
211.
212, 213, 214, alright. Well then, here we are in game, and we do have an interesting lineup of champions. We see a Tryndamere in the top lane, which is not actually something I see very often. So it is fairly a strong pick, but he's actually getting beat up on by this Maokai tidbit. Look down to the mid though. That's another interesting lane matchup, as I feel it's mostly skill involved with the Orianna versus Zed, as Orianna can kinda zone Zed out, but if he's good with his Shadow Farm, then there's not much you can do about that. How do you feel about this bot lane, though?
I feel like, based on the matchup, it seems more... It should be sided onto the Lucian, because Lucian early in game is probably stronger against Lucian, especially with his passive and the Janna shield. But they're getting pressured pretty hard down there.
And whatever is just an issue of them not being able to dodge bubbles, because they are taking a ton of damage, which really shouldn't be happening. But whoa, wait a minute, a little fighting up in his top lane.
Yep. Like, oh, he's just gonna flash, but he's probably gonna get hurt by the other. And another kill goes to the blue side. No, it's just probably just good ward coverage from blue side. Know where the jungler is next time and just make a counter gank out.
Yeah, it was actually just a really good read from Kha'Zix, knowing where Jarvan would start for his jungle rotations as they wound up both in the same place at the same time. Kha'Zix just had a little bit more life and a ton more isolation damage, so that did not go over well, as I believe Kha'Zix got a refresh on his double buffs. Yes, he did. As he goes back, he should have enough for Elder Lizard, perhaps? There's a couple of long swords getting that maximum damage for any ganking ability. And I have to wonder what he's going to be evolving first. With that double kill to start, I would think an E evolve, or the Wings evolve, would be the way to go for this start.
Yeah, like, as you can see, most Kha'Zix nowadays are pretty much betting on either the W evolution for probably the poking team fight, AoE effect, or the Wing evolve so that they could go for probably better ganking potential. And in this point when he's ahead, probably evolving the Wings is probably the best idea to do.
Yeah, especially when you can get those resets, keep hopping around the fights, and it really does increase, as you said, your ganking potential when you can just leap that much farther away. But we see Zigix actually coming up on Gator here, meets Jarvan in the jungle, puts a ton of damage down onto him. He's gonna be able to get away, I believe. Yeah. No flash is blown, so he's gonna have to go back and pretty much just farm in the jungle for a while, as Kha'Zix is really gonna dictate the pace of this with that aggressive jungling there. But a look down at the bottom shows a couple of low health bars and a very hungry Kha'Zix.
And it looks like he's gonna go in and a flash is burned from Janna. Maybe exhaust too, but Lucian is safe under the turret now. I don't think they'll be able to. They could probably dive this actually.
Oh, absolutely. They could definitely dive this. With the three of them there with a little bit of tower juggling, they could definitely take this Lucian for a ride, but they're actually going to wait until that minion wave comes in, and now the dive is going to come down. But wait a minute, Jarvan's there to turn this around. Not quite.
Ooh, that was
Freebird. Freebird walks away with 5 HP. Oh man, the damage calculations.
You know what's interesting is probably how much of a big difference the Fed jungler is right now at this point of this game, especially when it's in Kha'Zix. You notice that he was able to push out the Jarvan, Jarvan was on the bot side of the jungle at the time when bot lane was getting pressured. But once he got caught out by the Kazakhs, bot lane was pretty free to go in for a dive.
Yeah, he was definitely all, like, his decisions and completely, as you said, freed for that. What I really kind of want to know is, Jarvan did get jumped on there. They knew he was in that top or bot side jungle. Why didn't they back up when they were that low life? Like, they didn't have ultis and there was no safety there. They should have definitely got out as fast as possible.
It was probably just their confidence, because they already know that Jarvan was probably gonna take a while before he came back after the ult, and they were just that confident in their ability to be able to tower dive, get the kill, and get out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. I want to know why Red Team didn't leave. They knew Kazakhs was there. They should have been gone. Like, there was no reason to stay there. You know Kazakhs gonna come in. You know he's gonna dive you when you're that low. There was no reason to be under that tower, so that death was for pretty much nothing. Just a little bit of bad communication, I guess. Maybe Jarvan didn't tell him that he just got shoved out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably also probably that.
Anyway, along we go, and we see Jarvan jumping over to try and get his blue buff, but wait a minute, Zed coming around.
Going. Great flag and an ultimate by that. It was pretty much them setting up the pick with the ward coverage. You see the 3 wards from blue side into the enemy jungle. One at Wraith, one at blue buff, and also one at that bush next to Wolf. That Jarvan is not going to have control of that.
Definitely not for me. Did they actually, yeah, they took it, but they did not clear it out, so currently there is no timer on it. But red side doesn't know that. They don't have any wards that would tell them that is not clear, so it's going to be delayed for a good long time. And if Jarvan does come down to his blue with enough time on that ward to actually clear that out, blue side might still get the timer on that even still. So you never know what's going to happen. But I wonder how long it's going to take him to get down there and clear that out, and how long it's going to be delayed, because on a Zed, a blue buff really isn't that big a deal. But on an Ori, it really is. And with her not having that against the Zed, that's going to be a problem.
Well, you can see right now, though, Kazakhs is literally looking for the Jarvan. And right now, he's going to get caught out. And burn the flash.
He had to burn that flash to get out of there, because with the Zed and the Kazakhs damage, there's no way he was walking out of that safely. No way he was walking out of that alive, for that matter. So he had to burn that flash, get over the wall, and get away from them. And as you can see, dude, blue side just has all of the ward coverage. Okay, there he is. So blue buff is going to go down now at 916. It'll be back up at 1416. And as you can see, that ward is still there. So blue side does have the timer on that. So they will definitely be back to challenge that once again.
And now you can see that Kazakhs is also in the top side jungle. He's going to press it. They're probably going to make a dive because they know where the enemy jungle is.
I wouldn't dive just yet, just because that minion wave isn't pressed up. He can always just keep him there, wait on it, wait for that wave to get pushed up, and then dive him later. As is, you really don't like diving at Tryndamere since he's got that ultimate that just leaves him alive for 6 seconds, 5 seconds. So that's a lot of additional power shots that you would have to either eat or manage very carefully with diving a Tryndamere.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one good case, but then I'd say with a Maokai using his ulti, it'd be pretty easy to die. Also, did Kazakhs evolve his W or E?
He evolves his W.
Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't have the reset to just hop right back out.
Okay. If he got his E, then he probably would have made a dive.
Entirely possible. Now this bot lane, man. This bot lane is just not going good for the red side. Gregbot and Breakbot, I guess, just keep taking a ton of poke damage. Just the bubbles from this Nami are just absolutely on point, especially with her. I think she's leveling. No? Okay, so she's leveling her ebb and flow first. I think Tycon might be up for that, but a good fight down in the bot lane.
Great. Unfortunately, Jarvan was just a little and it looks like a kill may be going down onto their jump. Lucian. That was block, and especially
Yeah, a lot of action coming out of that bot lane. Well, a lot of good trading followed by a lot of action coming out. That's going to give them the ability to rotate around for this dragon. Going to be able to pick that up. I really don't think blue side can contest it. I mean, it's just Orianna, and Zed can always rotate down. So at best, she's walking into a 1v4. So that is going to be going over to them. A good 5,000 gold lead now after this dragon should be a 6k. There we go, 6k, almost dead even, a little more than, but a good early lead. This is only 12 minutes into the game for this 6k lead, 8-0 in kills. No towers have gone down yet, so this is really, really not looking good for red side here.
Oh, especially with this comp, with the Maokai, Kha'Zix, Zed, and Corki, their mid-game power spike is going to be greatly outnumbering the other team.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Like, this is a mid, or early to mid comp with definitely a, like, explosion in the mid, and they haven't even gotten to a mid game yet. On the flip side, but wait a minute, Zed getting called out here a little bit.
Yeah. He probably was a bit overconfident. Trying to go for a kill.
And just a little bit outside of his range. Probably saw Jarvan come by on one of the many wards they have down in that blue side jungle and went to go for it and didn't notice the bot side of red coming up to cut him off. So down he goes. Not too big of a loss though. He is only 1-1 with 109 farm. So it's really not that big of a deal for now. But his mid tower might be going down as a cost, as a repercussion of that action.
Yeah, actually, but the ulti does get used by Nami to make them back off.
Red team's turret has
A
been
good
destroyed.
tidal wave went out only across one though, but it was enough to get them to back off of this tower. Jarvan is right back in.
I'm not sure if they're they pick up the fortune over here from the river. But there's a TP actually going down. Oh, that last rocket. He did get a kill though.
Yeah, he did get the kill down, as is that ultimate of Tryndamere, allowing him to be alive even after death. Well, not after death, but just at that 1 HP for so long. He gets so much damage from being at 1 HP with that full rage bar. It really does him a ton of good. So he was able to pick up a kill onto himself, but he's really far behind, so I'm not quite sure that's going to matter much. He's only got 86 CS, he's 1-2-1, and things are in dire straits for the red team, to say the least.
Well, right now, my question right now is probably to Orianna building Theans against the Zed early game. Oh, he's right now going probably for an arm guard though. I don't think this matchup will want to go with Theans.
No, definitely in these Zed matchups, you want to get that arm guard as fast as possible. Probably build a tier for your mana regen early, and just deal with it that way. So you get the extra shield eventually from the Seraphs, and then you've got the additional armor for that laning phase to kind of keep you in the running for it. And finally, the Orianna does get her own blue buff. It only took 15 minutes to get that. And they had to fight pretty hard to actually get the warding back in their favor, in their own jungle. As you can see, the blue side has been mostly cleared out of the opposing wards, but the red side on top side though, now that jungle is warded with all of the blue side wards, so they pretty much, while they gave up control of the top blue side jungle, they kind of took control of the top red side jungle, so even trade, I would assume.
Oh, it looks like Donna's actually getting caught out. He does go down actually. What else? And Orianna is going towards the black, but probably taking the kill. He's going down to the third. That's scattered. And now. And they're probably going to take it.
grab this mid turret. There's not much they can really do about it as Gregbot gets blown up again. Nothing he could have. There was no way to save that tower. He should have just backed off, but since he didn't, he gave Corki that opportunity to just Valkyrie in, lay some burst damage down. And really, as far as bursting goes, I don't think there's anybody stronger than Corki out of that 80s carry role.
At this point, he has a Triforce and a Sword Boots, so he's gonna be doing a lot of damage with this blue animal.
And that phosphorus bomb and those rockets just coming out and striking people right in the face. Explosions all day. We see randomly Valkyrie back toward his tower, but it's okay. He can do that. He's kind of ahead at 4-0 and 5 with that Trinity Force, as you said. Picking up a pickaxe. I kind of want to know if that's going to be going into a Last Whisper second item, or if he's just kind of saving that. If that's just like the item breakpoint that he was at when he went back, go back, buy that pickaxe, and then maybe save up for an Infinity Edge, as I've seen a couple of times on Corkies where they'll go Trinity into IE. It's a pretty expensive build path, and I'm not quite sure it's the best one out there, but it seems to be a rather popular one.
Oh, it looks like an ulti goes down to that, and the ulti for Oriana. Good! God, see that now. Maybe able to pick up a kill on the start. Yep.
Up in this top lane now.
Yep, it looks like this could be maybe towards the ult. He doesn't have time. And a Jana flash. I don't think that was a good decision.
No, absolutely not a good decision. As you see, a grand total of 4 kills and a dragon across the map. Just blue side really showing their dominance in every lane. I really don't think they've dropped any, like, important decisions here. They've lost a couple of kills, yeah, but outside of that, everything they've done has been top-notch. They pulled every advantage they could, and now they're just picking Red Side apart. Like, Red Side's not even there. They're just like, oh, well, there's a champion, kill it. Oh, well, there's a champion, kill it. Really just not even caring about anything they're doing. As you see, Peckle up here, this Maokai just tanking up Power and Jarvan and not even a care in the world.
And it looks like the Corki's open. Probably. Never actually the other spot. Orion actually uses the ulti against the Tommy. Completely another thing.
That's 3 kills, 4 kills total out of that top side. And that was after Maokai took a couple of tower shots. He still had the power to tank up that team and really just survive throughout and be the frontliner that he needs to be. I mean, that's still the power of Maokai. His damage got nerfed out of that ulti a little bit, yeah, but it's still a 20% damage reduction. He's still like the tankiest beast that's ever been a tanky beast. So you really can't put it past, you know, a Maokai. You really have to shut him down, or you wind up with things as they are right now, where you've got this undauntable frontliner, and wait a minute, Kazi's
here.
here.
Looks like Kazi's going to go for that red buff.
Kazi just slides right on it, like, hey, that's actually mine. I know that's on your side, but no.
But it looks like a fight next round. I mean, blue side definitely has going down. The TV actually does get a pick up on get another kill on him. Doesn't even use his ulti.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what's left for Red Team to do. I feel like they've just given up by this point. They really aren't even making like the best decisions anymore. They had a chance to get back into this game just to play it safe and farm up, but blue side never stopped pushing forward. They just unrelentingly just dominated everything they could. Force dragon, force tower, force fight, everywhere they could possibly be.
Get a kill. I don't know if we're get out of this. Oh, man. Let's get a kill on top.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, they've definitely given up as Crate Fog going straight under the 2 towers. The surrender vote does come in 4-1. And that will be the end of this game. Just absolute domination. 20,000 gold lead for the blue side. Just nothing you can really say about that. Just an absolute steamroll.
Yep. There was almost no way they were able to be able to win that game. It was a hard game to come back from when they lost every single lane, and also their jungler got so behind after getting picked off by that Kha'Zix.
Yeah, that early kill really allowed Kha'Zix just like walk forward and enforce his dominance upon the map, and that's really not something you need going on when you have an assassin in the mid lane and an assassin in the jungle, and both of them can just go wherever, do whatever, and just force their ways into something. When the assassins on the opponent's team can do whatever they want, it really doesn't bode well for you at all. Alright, so what's next?
Alright, so then we seem to have our next game, and it will be Alpha versus Beta.